Hey everyone, how's it going? Thanks so much for tuning in. For today's video, we're going to do something a little bit different and take an in-depth look into the 2016 Scion IA. Within the next 10 minutes, I'm going to teach you everything you probably ever wanted to know about the IA, from optional features, pricing, what it's all about, driving dynamics, and so much more. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop on in and get started. The IA is Scion's first sedan, an all-new offering for the 2016 model year. It's designed to compete with the Chevrolet Sonic, Hyundai Accent, Ford Fiesta, and Nissan Versa, while promising excellent fuel economy, a generous amount of standard safety and convenience features, a premium-feeling interior, and spirited performance for the class. The IA is essentially a rebranded Mazda 2 sedan, which is definitely not a bad thing since Mazda doesn't have any plans on bringing that to the United States, only the hatchback. In other words, there won't be a case of twins duking it out like the Scion FRS and Subaru BRZ. The chassis is also shared with the new Mazda CX-3 compact crossover. If you prefer sedans and are a fan of the Mazda brand, the Scion IA is well worth a look and test drive. The Mazda DNA runs strong here in pretty much every way. In fact, the differences are so subtle that it pretty much boils down to a difference in badging and front-end styling. Looking at styling as a whole, it's no surprise that the IA is an attractive subcompact considering it's a Mazda-engineered car. The Kodo design language found on all of Mazda's latest products is quite apparent from the A-pillar's back, especially in the tail section. It combines a forward-leaning silhouette, high trunk lid, and plenty of curves, almost like a miniature Mazda 3 sedan. The front end is without a doubt going to be the car's most polarizing aspect, which was designed by Scion to give it a unique look compared to the Mazda. I don't not like it, but it's almost like integrating two very different design languages when you look at the Lexus-like spindle grille and angled front fascia treatments. It's unique for sure, and I know that's what Scion was going for. I think the Mazda's fascia looks a little bit better, but to each his own. Some LED headlamps like in the Corolla would go a long way, or even projectors for that matter, as seen in the Scion IM, would give it a more premium look. Other nice styling touches include the piano black bumper treatment up front with subtle chrome detailing, a chrome-tipped exhaust, standard 16-inch alloy wheels, and LED turn signal side view mirrors. The IA is also available in 7 distinct colors, including our tester's graphite finish. Without a doubt, the IA is one of the nicest interiors I've experienced in this class. Again, despite wearing a Scion badge, the design is pure Mazda, giving off a sporty, youthful, and energetic vibe. The interior styling and layout can also be found in the CX-3. I really like the two-tone black and blue color theme which comes standard. Despite the expected level of harder plastics in this segment, the IA has an impressive amount of soft-touch materials across portions of the doors and dash. The latter even has some blue accent double stitching for added detail. The instrument cluster doesn't differ much aside from unique color patterns. To the right there's a driver information system, and to the left a digital tachometer. More premium touches include satin chrome, circular air vents, and high gloss black trim. One of my favorite elements include all of the carbon fiber looking trim found throughout. It really looks good in person. I wish the steering wheel could be had leather wrapped, but honestly that would be my only suggestion to cap off the premium feeling cabin. During my brief drive, I thought the ergonomics worked well. Everything was within easy reach, including the analog climate controls, infotainment system, door switches, and multifunction steering controls. The IA can seat up to 5 people and has a pretty decent amount of passenger space for a compact car. The sporty front bucket seats are wrapped in premium cloth upholstery, combining great lateral grip and even height adjustment for the driver's seat. Adjustments are simple and well laid out. The defined lateral bolsters are a nice touch at this price and make the seats more comfortable and supportive through the corners. I kept wishing there was at least an armrest for the driver, but from what I understand that's a pretty common omission in this class. There's also no additional lumbar support, but I didn't find any fault with it on my drive. As you might expect, the back seat is on the small side, but my 5'10" frame fit in just fine with a little bit of room to spare. Despite being able to sit someone in the middle seat, it should be reserved for younger or smaller individuals, as there's somewhat of a tall drivetrain hump and there's concern for limited shoulder space if you try to squeeze in 3 adults back there. All the seats feature adjustable headrests with adjustable front seat belts. Overall, the IA is a pretty quiet car thanks to liberal uses of sound insulation, more than you'd expect from the class. Underneath the hood, you'll find an all-aluminum dual overhead cam 16-valve 1.5-liter 4-cylinder that makes a modest 106 horsepower, 6,000 RPM, and 103 pound-feet of torque at 4,000 RPM. Part of Mazda's new Skyactiv engine family, it combines a high 12-to-1 compression ratio, direct fuel injection, and various measures to maintain low internal friction, creating a smooth and very efficient setup that has pretty good performance considering the class. Sure, you won't be winning any drag races with an estimated 0 to 60 time of around 9 to 9.5 seconds, but you'll surely appreciate it at the pump. The EPA rates the manual transmission between 31 miles to a gallon in the city and 41 on the highway, or 33 miles to a gallon city, 42 highway for the automatic. It carries an 11.6 gallon tank and uses regular unleaded fuel. For the price, I couldn't believe how many standard features the IA had, not only with comfort and convenience, but safety. A low-speed pre-collision system is standard, an unusual feature for the class which has the ability to fully stop the car to avoid a fender bender. A keyless entry system with push-button start is standard, in addition to power windows and locks, a tilt-telescoping steering wheel with multifunction controls, and cruise control. Other noteworthy interior features include a rear backup camera and a 7-inch LCD infotainment system with Bluetooth telephone and streaming, iPod integration, and smartphone app connectivity, including internet radio, along with 6 speakers. The infotainment system can also be had with navigation as an extra dealer accessory. There's also a nifty remote controller setup in the center console with a premium knurled finish that you can use to control the infotainment system, making things a little bit easier and within reach. The same day I drove the IA, I was also able to drive the new IM hatchback, which, unlike the IA, is a Toyota Scion engineered car and shares practically nothing with this. That being said, the two cars give off very different personalities on the road, and I'll talk about the IM more in a separate review. The whole time I drove both cars, I drove manual transmissions. The IA is the more satisfying of the two. After all, it's a Mazda 6-speed gearbox with precise, short throws and good clutch feedback. When equipped with the optional 6-speed automatic, the IA features a sport mode that sharpens throttle response and raises the shift points for livelier acceleration. The electric power steering delivers more of a direct connected feel, and for what it's worth, the chassis felt tight and glued to the road. The driving position was alright for me and expected for the class. This car really took me by surprise by how fun it was, offering a no-compromise driving experience compared to the other compact cars I've driven. The brakes felt fine, a combination of vented front discs and rear drums, a simple setup but very effective in this lightweight car. Speaking of weight, our manual tester is rated at just 2,385 pounds, add 30 pounds for the automatic. That's around a few hundred pounds or so less than a Chevrolet Sonic LS sedan. Less weight allowed Mazda and Scion engineers to tune the suspension a bit further to ensure sporty handling characteristics. They did a fine job while still retaining pretty decent ride quality. Underneath the IA, you have a sport-tuned suspension, independent in front, consisting of McPherson struts and a 21mm stabilizer bar, and a torsion beam set up in the rear. It rides on a 101.2-inch wheelbase with an overall length of 171.7 inches, width of 66.7 inches, and a height of 58.5 inches. Of course, performance and comfort is one thing, but a car like this needs to be practical despite its small size. The IA has a bunch of small cubbies and storage trays throughout the interior. The glove box can swallow a ton of stuff, but it's not damp, so be careful opening it if it's loaded up to the top so you don't hit your shins on the way down. Not a complaint, just FYI, I wouldn't expect that feature for this class. Out back, the IA has a huge trunk, very tall and wide with a low lift height for larger items. If needed, you can fold down the 60-40 split rear seat and load up cargo to the front. The IA follows Scion's monospec pricing, meaning that the car is offered in one very well-equipped trim level. No options aside from your choice of transmission and the usual dealer accessories like navigation. Before a $795 destination charge, the manual transmission IA is priced at $15,700, while the automatic is priced at $16,800. When stacked next to the competition, the IA is far better equipped at its entry price than any other offerings out there that I can think of, and offers class-exclusive features such as the pre-collision system. Scion also includes a no-cost 2-year, 25,000-mile maintenance program that I don't believe is offered with any of the other competitors. The Scion IA offers a tremendous value for your dollar if you're looking for a no-compromise subcompact sedan that's fun to drive, very fuel efficient, and can be had with a ton of features that otherwise come at an extra cost or are simply absent from the competition. The front end is definitely going to divide some people, but it should by no means be a turnoff. It's not unlike the competition in terms of being out there, and it's not perfect, but it's unique, and that's what I like about it. For those wanting to try out something a bit different from the norm, the Scion IA will deliver a high-quality car at a subcompact price.